Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the PlayStation 4 version of Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, genuinely, I'm not really sure where to start with this review. Where do you start to review a game like this? It is genuinely quite a daunting prospect to review a game that has been made with such love, attention and care that it's a given. The reason this game is getting, generally speaking, 10 out of 10 scores across the range by the majority of people reviewing it, whether that be professional reviewers, people like the IGNs and all the others, right down to smaller reviewers on YouTube and on the internet, casual gamers, other gamers, all across the board are absolutely singing this game's praises, and that is no accident. This game, simply put, is a modern masterpiece and an incredible achievement in gaming, and one of those games that transcends its medium, and you could stand this game next to any form of medium out there and it would, above most of them, stand head and shoulders above them. This shows why games in general, when they're done right, when they're done with this much care and attention, are the strongest medium out there. Right, so what is this game about? Well, this game is set about 12 years prior to the original Red Dead in 2010. We don't need to talk much about the original Red Dead. That in itself is a masterpiece, and focused on John Marsden, who was hunting down Dutch's gang. Now in this game you are actually in Dutch's gang. You play a character called Arthur Morgan, who is almost like Dutch's right hand man, and right at the beginning of the game you're involved in a robbery that goes completely wrong and you're on the run. You're on the run from bounty hunters of the law, and you've been run out of Blackwater and you're trying to find a safe haven. So at the beginning of the game you're up in the hills in the snow, and for the first 3 hours or so, maybe a little bit longer depending on how fast you play the game is kind of, it's just locked into story mode, and you are in those hills and you've got to do certain tasks to enable you and enable the open world to fully open up to you. Once you get out of there, the world opens up and it's your oyster basically. You can go anywhere you want, do anything you want. However, what this game does is masterful really. You genuinely have a tether to the other characters in this gang. Dutch, and all the others, Lenny, everybody, Bill, everybody in this gang you can interact with. You set up camp, you interact with, you talk to, you feel a connection to, you do missions with them, and you genuinely feel a tether to them. You never want to just go off on your own and leave them for too long. You find yourself wanting to come back to the camp, to sit around the campfire on an evening and listen to the stories that people are telling. You want to come back to the camp to contribute to the camp, because that's something you can do. You can come back to the camp and you can put money in a pot to improve the camp. You can also go to a ledger and improve the surroundings for your fellow campmates. You can improve people's tents. You can improve the horse stable area. You can buy boats. You can improve the medicine tent, the food tent. You could go out hunting, bring back the pelts, bring back the meat, contribute it to the camp so that there's plenty of meat, so that there's always some nice stew on the go, which you could pick up and eat. Get yourself a serving and eat that. You could pour yourself a cup of coffee, sit down, just ponder the world as you see this steaming hot cup of coffee in your hands as you're sipping on it. And then you can drink yourself into a drunken stupor if you want. I mean, literally, you could spend hours just in your own camp, talking to people, wandering about, doing chores as well. You can feed the horses, you can carry sacks about. Anything you want to do, you can talk to people politely, or you can antagonise them and get on the nerves. You've got complete freedom in the camp, as you do throughout the world. So it's so well done. You don't want to leave for too long. You always want to feel yourself coming back to camp, and that is a testament to how well written the rest of the characters are and how good the story missions are. That's not to say that this game doesn't have plenty of other activities and side stories to keep you interested, because it really does. You could just go out riding for a couple of hours and you will come across a multitude of people to run into, people to talk to, missions to do. You could just get off your horse, explore an abandoned building, find treasure, find loot, find cigarette cars that you can collect. This game essentially would be a masterpiece even without the story, but the story is absolutely gripping. It is easily one of the strongest stories I have ever experienced in a game. I can't think, at the top of my head, I can't think of anything to top it. I really can't. Perhaps Witcher 3, but right now I'm enjoying this one more. This game is beautifully designed. If you think you might be able to do it in the game, you're surprised. You try it and you can do it pretty much most of the time. If you go in the shop to buy something, you could just walk into the shop and go up to the catalogue and browse it there, or you can just pick it off the shelf and buy it. You want to go in a bar and have something to eat, go in a bar and have something to eat. You want to go in a bar and have a drink of beer or whiskey, have a drink of beer or whiskey. You want to start a fight, start a fight. If you want to hire a room, hire a room. You want a bath, have a bath. You want someone to come and scrub your hair and arms and legs, a beautiful lady will come in and wash you as well. The horses in this game, just the mechanics is just unbelievable, and I know that because my wife has a horse and she's got a real affection for horses. She goes out riding her horse very regular, and she's absolutely stunned by the detail of the horses in this game. Absolutely staggeringly done. You've got to look after your horse, you've got to bond with your horse, you have to feed it, you have to brush it, pet it, you have to reassure it when you're out riding in case a snake comes out of the bush. It might scare the horse, therefore you have to reassure it. If you're shooting constantly on your horse, it will spook the horse. It gets agitated. It's just the detail in this game. I could literally go on for days and days and days. The map is absolutely immense. What you're seeing there, the map, is just me scratching the surface. The first, I don't know, 10 hours of the game, 15 hours of the game, probably 20 to 30 hours of the game is just that bit of map you saw there. It is enormous. I don't know how long it would take to go from one end of the map to the other, but I suspect it would be a long time. And it's beautifully crafted. The environments, it just is. Everything looks absolutely stunning in this game. The graphics are out of this world. There are a couple of NPCs in the game that look a bit rough, look a bit last gen, but that's forgivable, I think, because the vast majority of all the main characters in this game just stand out. They just look absolutely fantastic. It's no wonder it took them so long to make this game, just from the way it looks and the way it sounds. It feels real, it feels authentic. It's got a deliberate slow pace about it, this game, and everything that you do, the walking, the way you have to equip your weapons. If you don't get off your horse and equip the weapon, you're not going to carry it with you, you'll just have your pistols on you. So you have to make sure you equip your weapon. If you're going to do a robbery, you have to put your bandana up. If you've got a wanted level, or if you've got a bounty on your head, if you walk through the towns with your bandana up, you can walk through pretty much anonymously. However, nobody in the town will interact with you because it's not normal for people to walk around with a bandana on. Amazing detail in this game. I don't think I've had this much fun with a game for a long time. I mean, there've been some great games this year, and every year there's some great games, like I said, but I think this transcends games. There's no other game like this on the market, in a sense of it doesn't force your hand. You don't feel pressured to rush around in this game. It's got a deliberate slow pace about it. You literally open all the drawers when you search in drawers. It's a slow pace. It does it in a realistic manner. Yeah, fabulous, and it's funny too. I think there's some side missions in this game that are truly quite hilarious. I think Arthur's quips in this game, quite a lot, really make me laugh out loud. It's really well written. It's very funny at times. The shooting is very satisfying, but quite challenging too. Doesn't hold your hand massively. Even with the auto aim on and stuff, it's still reasonably challenging at times. The Deadeye is improved. It really works. You can paint your targets. You can double equip your weapons. You can carry shotguns, repeater rifles. Really good. The action in this game is really expertly done. However, it actually sometimes feels like an inconvenience when you're actually forced into action, because you're just sometimes happily just enjoying and chilling with the game, and you have to sometimes make a conscious effort to actually decide, right, I'm going to do a mission now, because most missions generally lead to some kind of action scene. Not always, but quite a lot. And sometimes you just want to chill with the game. You don't want to do that. So you actually have to make an active decision sometimes. Right, I'm going to do a mission now, because you want to savour the game, if that makes any sense. Are there any faults with this game? Well, I'm really struggling, guys, if I'm honest. I really am. I've been playing games all of my life. I've played some stinkers and I've played some absolute masterpieces, and this is really right up there in regards to masterpieces. I think in regards to the pacing, some people might not appreciate the slow pace of this game, because it is slow paced. I love it. I love the fact that you have to choose your weapons off your horse. You can't just get off and carry all your weapons automatically in a magic satchel that carries everything. It doesn't work like that in reality, and it doesn't work like that in this game. So I'm really struggling, guys, in regards to faults with this game. I am. It's just wonderful. Just the getting on the horse and going off and deciding to explore for this gaming session. You can think to yourself, well, I'm not going to do any missions today. I'm just going to get on my horse and go in that direction and see what happens. The customization options in this game blow your mind. You can buy any amount of outfits, hats, vests, coats, boots, chaps, gloves, guns. You can customize your guns, what patterns they've got, what varnish they have on the handles. You have to look after your guns. You have to clean them with gun oil. If you have a cigarette or a cigar, it slowly affects your stamina. I suppose, you know, minor criticism. This is a minor criticism. When you do have a cigarette, you just take one puff on it and throw it away, which isn't realistic, I suppose. But maybe they didn't want to dwell on that as a gaming publisher. They've probably got, you know, smoking charities getting on the case. I can't really say much more about this game, guys. It's an absolute masterpiece. I haven't enjoyed a game this much for years and years. It's obviously a 10 out of 10 from me. If you're having any doubts about this game, don't. You must get it. You really must. It's a modern gaming masterpiece, simply put, and one that is an essential play, an essential buy. Get it on your Christmas list, maybe, guys. Definitely needs buying and playing this game. It's wonderful. Thanks for watching.